Gonna go a little retro with this one. We're talking about the 1975 Steven Spielberg classic, Jaws. Just in time for the warm weather as it kicks in. Here on Horror and Coffee. Retro review coming up. If you like what you see here, please consider subscribing. Tap on that bell for future notifications for future Horror and Coffee content. It's been a crazy time. Last year, this whole year, with the theaters closing down, with them slowly reopening them. I got my Godzilla IMAX tickets ready. Gonna get ready to see that, but that's not what this Horror and Coffee is about. This is about Jaws. There are reviews out there about Jaws, but there are no reviews that has Ralph's input about this film. Originally, this was a novel, okay, before it was a movie, like many movies. It first came out as a book, and people liked the book. Steven Spielberg liked it so much, and he wanted to make a movie out of it. And the movie turned out to be a blatant, crazy setup, total success. We all know the story of Jaws. For those of you who don't, especially you young'uns, let me explain it.
There is a creature alive today who has survived millions of years of evolution without change, without passion, and without logic. It lives to kill. A mindless eating machine. It will attack and devour.
This is in Amityville, Long Island, where Sheriff Brody is this guy who's kind of like, he's the sheriff of the town, and it's a little island off the coast of Amityville, actually off the mainland, where people, go vacationing. It's the summer, it's 4th of July weekend, and unfortunately, they're coming up against a terrible thing that had just happened early on in the beginning of the film. Apparently, this girl went swimming, totally naked, skinny dipping in the water, and she got eaten. By what? That was the issue. And they're trying to, the locals are trying, the local authorities are trying to kind of brush it off as just a freak accident or something like that. But Sheriff Brody's suspicious. So he gets this oceanographer in here who knows how to do that, played by Richard Dreyfuss, this one of my favorite actors, and he comes in and he examines the body and he says definitively that it is a shark. What kind of shark? They don't know yet at this point. By the time the middle of the movie happens, and after a few more people get eaten in the water, in spite of Brody telling the mayor of Amityville, hey, you got to shut the beach down. But this keeps talking, right, to the mayor. This keeps talking. Money talks, money talks. Before you know it, the mayor is has it way in over his head that okay, this is a real problem. Now, what is this shark? I mean, people have had this fear of sharks for time immemorial. Well, this particular kind of shark in this film, it's a great white. Great white sharks, if you really look into the history of them, they're first of all one, not the, but one of the largest shark species known in the oceans. They're actually in every ocean on the planet. They're not confined to one particular part of the world. They're all over the world. They tend to feed on other fish, whales, if there's enough of them. And even though attacks with humans are rare and they don't particularly seek out humans, in their natural habitat, this one does. I don't know, there's something about this shark. And remember, this is the mid-70s, so we're living, people at that time, there's a lot of monster movies that came out already. There was a lot of other films at that point that I'm definitely going to review this year that I really want to touch on. I want to touch on the animal monster kind of thing. I'm not talking about Godzilla stuff. I'm talking about something that can, in essence, particularly happen in real life. In the case of this great white shark, which turned out to be a very huge shark, when Sheriff Brody and I forgot Richard Dreyfuss' character's name, and then the shark hunter that they hired, played by Brandon Shaw, I think his name is. They go out and to go hunt the shark down, right? Before you know it, a simple shark hunting expedition became a fight for survival. This shark takes things personally. Not only does it just not swim away because it knows it's in danger, it's been shot at, it's been harpooned, it's been has these barrels it's dragging around all over the place. Does it swim away? Does it go away? No. It starts pursuing the boat that these guys are on, these three guys on the boat, as if it has a vendetta, as if it has a score to settle, as if it has a mind, as if it's intelligent or something. That's what's creepy and scary about this movie. Because usually when animals attack humans, they're just going on their instincts, right? They're animals. If a lion eats a person, it's the same reason why a lion would eat a gazelle. It's instinctual. It's what they do. They're animals. They're meat eaters. In the case of Jaws, it gives us a suggestion that this particular shark off the coast of Amityville is not only an instinctual hunting machine, it has a vindictive mind. I mean, when you see the movie, that's how it kind of like plays itself out to be. And the final showdown between Sheriff Brody and the great white shark in this film, you see that come out in its most serious, like dramatic way. This was the film that put Steven Spielberg on the map. This is what really springboarded his career as being one of the most greatest directors of all time. You have to understand something. The great white shark, according to science, kind of had a common ancestor with another shark that evolved like 60 million years ago, around the time of the dinosaurs, right? And and there's still debate about whether the great white shark is actually a direct descendant of the megalodon, which was a huge shark that lived hundreds of millions of years ago, okay, or even less. And those sharks, like one was depicted in that movie, The Meg. I'll put the link up here so you can see my review of The Meg, right? It was a good movie. It was fun. That was a fun movie. This movie, not really fun. It had its cool, cute, quirky, witty moments that was funny. But overall, it's a very serious film. It traumatized a lot of people. Hey, even I know people that are like, I ain't going to the beach. I'm telling you, I have the 4K here. I just got. Let me show you what it looks like. It's like a nice little folder kind of thing, and then you pull out I guess this is Scream Factory. Hard to tell. But this is the actual cover of the Jaws. And I have right here the Blu-ray and the 4K. Now, another thing this setup has is this cute little book, right? Where it kind of like breaks down everything, the mechanics of the shark that they used, it was a fake shark. It's not a real shark. And how it was, they named it Bruce. I don't know. It explains all of that and the schematics and everything. It's a lot of information. The original, ideas, drawing, that they drew down for the film. A lot of information in this little packet here, and I'm really glad I picked this up. This film is definitely one for the ages, a keeper. The quality, the 4K quality is pretty good. There are some shots where it's not too good. It looks kind of grainy. I mean, it's 1975. They, as good as they can get, right? But this was great. Definitely, this is probably the only one I'm going to ever want to watch this film again. It has a digital code, too, so I downloaded that as well. But, when you want to see the 4K hard copy, it's right here. I'm going to give Jaws 5 coffee cups because it is a classic. It is the thing that horror fans have always remembered throughout the ages, especially growing up in this time period. The time period when the idea that when man bites with nature, nature will bite back, literally. There's my review of Jaws, 1975 classic by Steven Spielberg. What are your thoughts about Jaws? Talk to me, comment below, and share with me what you think about how this movie has made an impact in the film industry and the imagination of millions throughout the last almost 50 years. This is Ralph Perez, Horror and Coffee. Until next time, take care.